Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, founded on an ice-cold Tuesday of December 4th, 1906, on the campus of Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. It was founded by 7 men we refer to as our jewels, on the aims of manly deeds, scholarship, and love for all mankind. Jewel Dr. Henry Arthur Callis, podiatrist, professor of medicine at Howard University, known as the philosopher of our fraternity, and the only Jewel to become the general president of our dear fraternity. Jules Charles Henry Chapman, professor of agriculture at what is now known as Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University. He was the first chair on our committee of initiation and our first Jewel to go on to our Omega chapter in 1934. He was quoted as saying, "We must never lose sight of the fact that we must take part in the development not only of ourselves, but all of humanity." Jewel Eugene Kinkle Jones, born in Richmond, Virginia, known as the founder who helped in the expansion of our dear fraternity by starting the Beta chapter at Howard University, the Gamma chapter at Virginia Union University, and the Delta chapter at the University of Toronto. He became the first executive secretary of the National Urban League. Jewel George Biddle Kelly became the first African American engineer to become registered in the state of New York. He also served as the first president of the Alpha chapter at Cornell University. He's accredited for naming our dear fraternity. He believed Alpha Phi Alpha needs quality, not quantity. Jewel Nathaniel Allison Murray, a noted educator in Washington, D.C., an instructor of agriculture and biology, one of the first African American librarians of the Library of Congress, considered as a leading authority in the Black American experience. Jewel Robert Harold Ogle served as a professional staff member to the United States Senate Committee on Appropriations. He is more known in our fraternity as the one who proposed our fraternity colors of old gold and black. Jewel Vertner Woodson Tandy was the first black registered architect in the state of New York. He was also the first black to pass the military commission examination and was commissioned first lieutenant in the 15th Infantry of New York State National Guard. Jewel Tandy designed our first fraternal pen and was instrumental in getting the fraternity incorporated. After 116 years, many men have joined our dear fraternity and have become prominent black men in their fields. We, as the men of Sigma Tau Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, established on July 26, 2020, having the distinction of being the 968th House of Alpha, the 33rd chapter in the District of South Carolina, as well as their 18th graduate chapter in South Carolina, thank you for your support. Since its inception, the chapter has remained steadfast to the mission and aims of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, in addition to establishing its identity and presence in the greater Fort Mill community. From the very beginning, the brothers of Sigma Tau Lambda chapter have persevered through many obstacles placed before them. However, in the past year, those seeds of struggle and strife have begun to bear fruit by way of the impact the chapter has made as an organization and through the individual accomplishments of its members. The chapter has distinguished itself through service and outreach to not only the community, but also to brothers in and around the Fort Mill area.